Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, we love the title. As soon as we found out the title of the book, I'm like, well, that is certainly on point.
Yeah, that needs to be on our show.
Yeah, well, and so here's what we were wondering. How much do you dive into the history of beer in Cincinnati, and how much is the beer that's happening right now in Cincinnati? Does that question even make sense? I hope it does.
It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
I have done actually 2 beer books before this, and both of those are history.
Going back. Gotcha. Sure.
So this completely different approach that this book that Brett and I did together, and it's kind of history, but it really starts around about 1987.
Okay.
It starts with Oldenburg, and it's a lot more, the approach of this book is the personal stories of the people that built the breweries that really helped shape Cincinnati.
Okay.
At least some of them, and how that either worked out for them or didn't. Which is the calamity,
right.
the fortunate calamity part of the title.
So can you tell us how the two of you got together to do this book, and how the idea, I know you said you did 2 before, but how the idea came about to work on this together?
You bailed me out, right?
For the book? Well, you see, Mike's written a couple books with the History Press before.
Right.
They reached out to him to write a new book going off of this theme of exploring craft beer in a given city. And Mike said no. And I said, wait, pump the brakes here. We can do this together. And I've always wanted to write a book. Mike's written a couple, and he thought, oh, maybe it'll be less work if I bring Brett on. And that wasn't the case.
And can you talk about why it would be a good idea to have you involved in your history?
Oh, well, I'm a co-owner of Urban Artifact here in Cincinnati.
So you know a thing or two?
Yes, so I know a couple things, know some people, was able to help make more interviews happen and made things a little easier for us.
Well,
I think, I'm sorry, so like how we got together originally is I teach a beer class at UC, and I started bringing the class to Brett's Brewery years ago, and that was how we met originally. But we also do like a weekly YouTube show that is alcohol and beer business.
Nice.
And we've done a podcast of like a history of American craft beer.
Oh, nice.
So we collaborate on a variety of things.
A beer class at UC.
Well,
who knew? That's great.
You mentioned knowing people, and some of the interviews you got for the book are pretty great. Talk about some of the people that you talked to for the book.
Well, we got to talk to Jim Cook, owner of Boston Beer, Sam Adams here locally. He's originally a Cincinnati native, a billionaire in the beer business now. So that was pretty great. And we got to know him through, we did a collaboration with them back in 2017, us at Urban Artifact. And we got to know Jim well that way. And then we were able to work that connection to, get an interview. And he's so open and kind and is so supportive of the beer industry that he was willing to kind of peel back a little bit behind the scenes. That was great. And then someone like Scott LaFollette, the owner of Blank Slate, which is now closed, RIP. But Scott kind of keeps to himself, but me and him both kind of have a curmudgeonly attitude. So I was able to pull him out of his shell a little bit and get this interview going. And so, we were able to leverage what we know and who we know.
And we did it from different angles, like Mr. Cincinnati, Jim Tarbell. Jim is in the book because Jim, when he ran Arnold's, he tapped the very first craft beer in Cincinnati, which was the first iteration of Christian Moorline.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. We talked to both Jim and Jack, who was a bartender there for over 40 years, and he's not with us anymore, but we'd interviewed him before, so it's just a lot of really fun people.
Those are cool voices to hear from,
Sure, you can stop watching, but let's be honest, you want to know more. Tap the links, or even better, click subscribe to stay in the know.